Bang bang.
Oh my god, it's so big and strong.
Bung Bung Coffee. Big, strong flavour. Competition? I don't think so. bungbungcoffee.com. Get yours.
ClayMcMathComedy.com. That's ClayMcMathComedy.com. ClayMcMath comedy.com for all my dates. We've got a lot going on in Adelaide at the moment, so check in and see what's coming up. And then we've also got Kapunda coming up, Renmark coming up, and a bunch of other stuff on the verge of getting booked in. So there's going to be a lot of dates on ClayMcMathComedy.com. So get around that. And dude, we're getting straight into Clay's reviews today. So enjoy the show. Comedy, action, or horror. Will this movie win an Oscar? Set design, directing, acting, lighting, or costumes? This segment is Clay's reviews. Yeah, man. So we watched Woman of the Hour on Netflix, which is like a true crime sort of drama thriller situation, starring and directed by Anna Kendrick. So I got a bunch really to talk about here. Is one, the rating. I'm gonna give you the rating off top. It's a 6 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10. And sometimes I hesitate to give the rating up top because if I give it a low rating, like a 6 and under, what if people are just like, well, I don't really want to stick around and listen to that shit. But I'll give you a 6 out of 10 rating up top, just because that's how I'm feeling today. Now, I've been sick this week, so the week of recording. So this film got paired with something sort of out of the ordinary, and that was green tea and Strepsils, cause my motherfucking throat hurt so bad, and I watched it in bed. In my son's bed. He's sleeping in our bed every night, which is fine. He's actually pretty cool to sleep with. But you know, it does take a little bit of intimacy out of that house. Let's put it that way. But he's sleeping with us, and when I'm sick, so I don't want to get Rach and him sick. So I've been sleeping in his bed, and in hopes that he's going to return to his own bed. I've been washing the sheets like every 2 days for no reason. Like I may as well just lay in my own filth in that bed until I'm completely healthy. But I watched it in his bed with a green tea and a packet of Strepsils, and I was smashing those Strepsils like they were dang, Mentos or something. Or Mentos. That's how Americans say it. But yeah, Anna Kendrick, man, off rip, I've got to be honest with you, I don't like her. Never have, bro. She was in, I think the first time I may have seen her was in The Accountant with autistic Ben, what's his name? Affleck. Autistic Ben Affleck. She was in that. She was like, I don't know. I don't remember what she was. His fucking receptionist or tutor or some shit. I don't know what she was really, but she was in that. I think that's the first time I saw her, and I didn't rate her then. And then I didn't rate her in that first one she did with Blake Lively. I won't rate her in the next one she did with Blake Lively. I didn't like her in Pitch Perfect, doing the cups. She thought she was so smug doing that cups. She thought she was so fucking dope doing the cups thing, man. And dude, I don't know what it is about her. I just never got into it. All right. That's the long and the short of it. And she showed some promising attributes here with the directing of the film. Did she need to put herself in it? I would argue no. I don't want to see her in it. Why did I watch it? it's the perfect length for a film, especially when you're sick and you don't want to concentrate too long. It was about that 90-minute mark, which is a positive. Watch this one without Rach. Rach can't get into grape and murder and all of that type of shit. So I had to watch this one by myself, which was fine. It was fine. But basically the premise of the film is they show this dude, his name's, hold on, I've got it written down, Rodney Alcala, and they kind of show him at the beginning of the film seducing women and then giving them that beat down and then giving them that unauthorized entrance. So that's really what his MO is. And then you see Anna Kendrick, I think her name was Cheryl. She's trying to make it in Hollywood. And she's best friends with Pete Holmes or whatever. I don't know what his name is in the movie, but it's Pete Holmes. He's a comedian that screams a lot. But he's in that. She's their best friends or whatever, so that's dope. They she's like, I think I'm gonna quit, I think I'm gonna leave. He's like, nah, you're gonna get some. Manager calls, I got you an audition. She goes to the audition and they're like, yeah, she sucked, but look at her body. Like right in front of her, like she got a bit of a body there. If she was, wearing less and showing it off that bit. So you're getting into like there's like a sexuality, a misogyny undertone to it. And misogyny, I think if you do an unauthorized entrance to women, I think that is misogyny. It's also, it's no consent. You got P. Diddy. He's in there right now for doing non-consent. Cassie. And people are victim blaming Cassie. She could have left at any time. I don't like that argument. I don't want to get into it. But I don't think you can just leave at any time when you're being abused. You're scared to leave. And sometimes you've been made to believe you got nowhere to go. I'm the only person that'll ever love you, bitch. The fuck you gonna go? Who the fuck's gonna take you in? Dumb bitch. I'm the only person that loves you, you stupid bitch, And then she starts believing that. So it's hard to leave an abusive relationship. Especially if you're scared. What if you get scared that you're going to get caught, get the smackdown? There's lots of stuff that stops a lady from leaving. Then you got kids, and you don't want to get a motherfucker mad and get the kids in harm's way. There's lots of factors and variables and all that. So don't blame Cassie, man. Cassie's husband stood up, said some stuff about how strong his wife was in court when she testified against the diddler or whatever, and that's a strong man. That's like you gotta be strong for your woman in a time like that. But it's also like it's got to be hard to be having conversations like this at home. Obviously, he's not the victim, so I'm not sympathizing with this dude over Cassie. But it's a hard position to be in as a spouse when someone's been abused, to have to constantly be sensitive to their trauma in situations where maybe you wouldn't be thinking that they might be sensitive to it. Like it's a birthday and you go, hooray! And you whip your arms up like that and she starts flinching, So you got to be sensitive to that all the time. So you just got to sort of, they're both strong is what I'm trying to say. Strong couple. It's looking, to me, it's sounding, unless motherfuckers are just out here lying on the stand, doing perjury, is looking like Diddy's pretty guilty of all this shit. Now, I wasn't really questioning it. I don't think you can just have that much baby oil in your house and be innocent of anything, really. I think whatever they say, once there's that much baby oil in your house, I think you're guilty. And you're like, what? Of what, Clay? Whatever, bro. Whatever you're accused of at that point, you're guilty of it. When motherfuckers are taking gallons of baby oil, bro, 1 gallon. You have 1 gallon? of baby oil in your house, you're guilty, bro. You're guilty, bro, if you got 1 gallon. But then they're going to just be having mad gallons, bro. Then the judge is going to be like guilty at the end, and the whole courtroom is simultaneously going to be like, duh. It was gallons. Someone's going to be like, do you remember what Cassie said? I'll be like, bitch, I tuned out after gallons, dude. He was guilty at gallons. He was guilty at gallons, bro. But this dude, Rodney Alcala, so we got to get back. What was I talking about? Yeah, the misogyny, bro. So, these casting execs or whatever watch this audition. They're like, God, she sucks, but look at her body and all that. And that's the type of shit she's been subjected to. She all of a sudden, she's like, nah, I'm leaving, manager. And the manager's like, nah, look at this. I just got you on a game show. She's like, a game show? She's like, a game show. And then the next scene, she's in the makeup chair at the dating game. And if you don't remember the dating game, it's basically a woman or man on one side of a wall and then 3 of the opposite sex, because back in whenever this happened, the 70s or 80s, there was really only 2 sexualities, and that was gay and straight. Those were really the only 2 things, and gay wasn't cool yet, so they weren't going to put that shit on TV. So it was basically, listen, if you're a woman, there's going to be 3 dudes on the other side. If you're a dude, there's going to be 3 women on the other side. So you sit down there and you ask questions. You say, contestant number 1. My favorite date includes dinner and some sort of touching. If we went out on a first date, where would you take me for dinner? And when and where would you touch me? Just stupid shit like that. Just questions you would never ask. Stupid shit like that. And then the motherfucker has to try and be smooth on the other side and be like, yo, I think I'd take you to Tex-Mex, and I'd touch you before the date. Because I know after that Tex-Mex, I'm going to be getting no sex. You know what I'm saying? Because you going to be sitting on the toilet. Or some shit like that. And then people, boo. And then contestant number 2. If I was a flower, what type of flower would I be and why? Be like, yo, I think you'd be a tulip. Because you can hold a lot of water and you got more than tulips. And everyone's going to be like, boo, because of the sexual answers. And then she's like, contestant number 3. If we were driving in my car, where do you think we'd be going? And he'd be like, nowhere. I would never take you for a date in your car. I don't even have insurance to drive your car. You would be coming in my car, and we would be going anywhere that you would want to go. And everyone would be like, oh my God, President Obama. He's so sweet. I don't know why I was trying to do a white guy voice and I kind of sounded like Obama, but yeah, it's like that. So you just say something sweet while the other guys are like trying to like hide their stiffies and you win. And that's pretty much what this Rodney dude does. He brings the smooth with it, and he's a fucking freak, man. He keeps telling people he's a photographer, telling stories about like, yeah, dude, I was at the penthouse Playboy party, the crossover collab party, taking photos of Hugh Hefner and bitches from both sides or whatever. And they're like, what? Who was that? He's like, Burt Reynolds, dude. And his hair is his face is, his whole body's totally smooth. And they're like, what? And he just tells all these fake Hollywood stories, you know. He's no Charlie Murphy, bro. He doesn't have like a fucking Rick James story. So he's got to make up all these photography stories and shit. So everyone falls for the hype, bro. This is Hollywood too, bro. Before motherfuckers were doing Me Too. This is when Hollywood was still rocking, bro. Everyone wanted a piece. So if you're just like, yeah, dude, I took a photo of fucking that dude from Baywatch. Remember him? Shit. David Hasselhoff. Yeah, I took a photo of him, bro, eating a hamburger sober or whatever. And they're like, what? He's like, yeah, man. I'm like, oh my God. Come and eat my pussy in the back of my car. And he's like, all right, bitch. And he goes and he's already like borderline getting consent. And then he, you know, smacks him in the head and gives him that unauthorized entrance, bro. Gets the key cut out. Beep. Beep. Oh, unauthorized entrance it is. You know, that's what he's into though. He's into that. He likes to seduce them, but then like still get mad, violent and like filthy about it. And this is a true story, man. And he got at the end of his run. sorry, it's NBA playoffs right now, so I'm just gonna refer to his crimes as a sporting analogy. But at the end of his run, he got convicted of 7 rapes and murders, and later he wasn't convicted of them, but they think maybe the number instead of 7 was closer to 130. What? It's just wild. It's wild, bro. And you know, I love a true story. If you have ever heard one episode of the Welcome to the Poddy podcast before, you know 2 things. 1, it's all unsourced here at the Welcome to the Poddy podcast. And 2, I fucking love a true story. Sorry, I'm still a bit blocked up here. But yeah, Anna Kendrick, she's got her signature wit or whatever. They think they call it signature. Let me tell you this. She's an actor. She's an actor, bro. So you're just reading the lines, yeah? So is the signature wit hers or the fucking writers? Give a motherfucker some credit. That's why they went on strike. Motherfuckers can't get any credit. You're going to start writing scripts in AI. Like, come on. Let's be real here. But with the runtime, that 90-minute runtime, beautiful runtime. I love a 90-minute runtime. There's no better runtime than a 90-minute runtime. But it was rushed in the end. We're like mid-crime, and then it's just like, and then woo, cops come get him, game over. It just happened so quick. It's like she had on her little checklist, sexism, yep, misogyny, yep, rapes and murders, yep, 90-minute runtime. Oh, shit. Jesus Christ, we're at 87 minutes. Let's wrap this up. Okay, thank you. And that's what they did. And it was it. That was it. She just worked off her little checklist and they shut it down. I'm so sorry about the blockage here. They shut it down, bro. So that was, yeah, it was a very rapid ending, just sort of happened. And they run the credits, roll credits, the end. And then they tell you the court stuff, you know, convicted of 7, probably did 130, and you're like, dang. And then that's it. Oh, okay. Died in prison, so he can't hurt anybody anymore, which is good. Now, I don't know really how prison works. If it's like in America, I know there's private prisons. There's like prison for profit, yes. But there's also, I don't know if there's also, but there's government prisons, yes, which is taxpayer funded. So sometimes when it's a motherfucker like this, I think you just got to put him down, bro. You just got to put him down. And that way, motherfuckers' tax dollars aren't keeping a motherfucker alive. Keeping a motherfucker alive in a cell, bro. I don't like that. Or send it to a for-profit prison, which I don't really know how that works. I think they do jobs in there, knit quilts. They just turn the prison into a sweatshop. I think Nike runs out of prisons, actually. People talk shit about like little kids knitting your shoes or whatever, stitching your shoes up. Nah, B. It's fucking convicts, bro. Rapists and murderers, bro. Stitching that swoosh onto your sneakers. So I don't really know how the prison system works. I don't even know really why I'm talking about it. But I just think when someone's sick like this, when your whole jam is grape and murder, I think you just got to get put down, bro. And I know people say like, oh, that's the easy way out. Oh, he'll get his in prison. They don't look upon these people kindly. It's like, yeah, he gets beat up once and then he gets in solitary. Or not even solitary, he gets protected. Oh, he gets his own lunchtime now. Like, yeah, you get no friends, but you're also safer than everyone else because you got beat up and you're a rapist and a murderer. So I think put him down, bro. Even if it's a slow death, like drown a motherfucker, bro. Drown him. Who gives a fuck? Look what he did. What do they do in like the Middle East? Do like stone motherfuckers? Let's stone this dude, bro. Let's throw him backwards off a building or something. Let's light a motherfucker on fire, bro. Just and send a message. Oh, hey, this is what you're into? Oh, you want to be a pedo or you want to be a goddamn rapist? Here, look at this. Look at this. We're going to light you on fire. Oh, we're going back to medieval times, B. Putting you on the stake. We're going to treat you like a witch. This is a witch hunt. This is a pedo hunt, bro. That's what I think. I don't think you just keep a motherfucker alive feeding them mashed potatoes and beans for 25 years. I think you put motherfuckers down. When a dog bites someone, they put a dog down, bro. They put a dog down. When a shark, dude, attack, they call it a shark attack. It's called self-defense. You're in the shark's house, by the way. They're not on land doing shark attacks. They go out and they try and they go culling, which is just how New Zealanders say killing, I'm pretty sure. But they take them out, bro. And they're not even doing the wrong thing. Humans know what they're doing. And, if you trespass in my house, you might get raped and murdered, bro. We've talked about this. There was a guy that did it. There was a guy that did that to somebody who came into his house. He was like, okay, well, now guess what? I'm going to fuck you, dude, because you're in my house now. And we play by my rules. And I kind of fuck with that kind of shit, bro. I fuck with that. That is private justice, bro. You're in my house. I'm the law now. Stand your ground, bro. Stand your ground. In Florida, you're allowed to shoot somebody on your property. What's to say that when I'm standing my ground, maybe I'm not just letting one off out of my gun, Get the fuck out of my kitchen. That's all I'm saying. But there was, the cops, dude, wouldn't believe this woman that she was in the audience at the show, at the taping of the dating game, and she saw the dude and she was like, oh, this guy raped and murdered my friend. I was there. And she leaves, she runs out and she goes and tells the cops, and the cops are like, yeah, bitch, all right. Stupid, dumb bitch. Of course. Dramatic bitch. God, you're so dramatic and so stupid. And her boyfriend even said it. He didn't say it in those words, but he was like, if he did that, you really think he'd be on the dating game? Come on. You think maybe he just looks like him a little bit? You stupid cunt. What are you, fucking retarded? It's not him. And she's like, get the fuck out of my car. Get the fuck out of my car. You know, like, and as you would. Getting gaslit. So she tells him to fuck off, goes to the cops. Cops do the exact same thing. And it's just brutal, man. But Anna Kendrick, her character, sort of sees something wrong with him. So she's actually not. The important part of the story is that she was the contestant on the dating game, but she's not one of the victims. She was an almost victim because he won. She chose him. So she was an almost victim, but she wasn't really an important part of the story. And they tried to, they had to add in the a little bit extra. Like, is Grape and Murder not enough? We got to add in that it was hard to be a shitty actress in Hollywood in the fucking 70s or what. Like, yeah, we know. We know you had to suck dicks to get part because you suck at acting. You can't just suck at acting. You got to suck at dick. That's what Weinstein's motto was. You know, bitches come into his office and be like, I really want to be Wonder Woman or whatever. He's like, well, two things. One, you suck at acting. Two, you want something else, you're going to have to suck on my weird shaped dick or whatever. And that's, everyone knows about it. But they had to add that, even though people were already getting raped and murdered in this movie, she had to sort of just put that in there. Because there wasn't much to this. There wasn't a lot of substance to it. It sounds, the pacing was weird. The emphasis on the casting audition situation was just like, who kind of gives a fuck about that when there's this going on? I know they're both bad. Are they equally as bad? Am I bad for saying no? Am I bad for saying no? When you work with UNICEF or fucking someone, whoever, if there's anybody, the Red Cross, helping out in Gaza at the moment, seeing like dead bodies and burnt babies or whatever the fuck's going on over there. And you go home and your girlfriend's crying and you're like, oh shit, what's wrong, baby? And she's like, oh my God, I wanted to buy these new pants and they're all sold out. It's like, my apologies, but I don't give a fuck. I just saw child death today. I understand this is a bad thing that's happened to you. You don't get your fucking pants, but there's more going on outside. And that's just sort of like the importance that sort of felt like was placed on this audition in the 70s or 80s. Then there's Grapes and Murders. All of a sudden, I don't really give a fuck about your little sexual harassment in your audition. That's all it kind of felt like. It was just like, what was that fucking movie with Margot Robbie's in it? And they work at like, what's the dude that owns Channel 9 or whatever? Oh, here we go. Everyone's screaming at me from your driver's seat in your car, or you're in bed punching your pillow, listening to my fucking gravelly voice as you try and go to sleep. And you're like, his name's fucking... I can't remember his name, dude. But he's, media mogul, Australian guy, and he owns like fucking the news. He basically owns the news, in Australia. Let me just have this bung coffee real quick. God, I forget his name. It was just on the tip of my tongue too. Anyway, it's Rodney? God, who gives a fuck? Anyway, it's a movie basically about him and all the sexual harassment and stuff for promotions and you want this job, you better come in here and swallow the gravy or whatever. And that movie was exclusively about that. And you feel bad for these women because that's what it's about. And then no one, I can't remember, someone might get raped, but it's in the context of that. So you're like, this is so fucked what these women had to go through. But then when it's like, hey, look at this guy, he's just raped and murdered 130 women. And oh God, look at this audition. It's like, who gives a fuck? Also have something against Anna Kendrick. So maybe if someone else played that role, I could have got around it a bit more. But in the context of the film, like, I don't care. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, man. I won't go much longer just because I'm going to keep coughing into the mic and all that. But I guess the relatability here is like, dude, have you ever been on a game show? I haven't. I've never applied for one, mostly because I'm, mentally handicapped. A lot of you guys are like, oh shit, is he about to come out as a retarded or whatever? And nah, undiagnosed, but yeah. Can't go on a game show, bro. I wouldn't know anything. First question, they give you a layup. First question, I just wouldn't get it. First question would be like, what's your favorite movie? And I'd be like, oh, fuck. Dude, I went to a Bucks show. This isn't funny. It's kind of, it's not fresh. It's probably like a year old now, but I went to a Bucks show, man. And I couldn't drink because I had a gig that night and I had to drive to the gig. And it actually was one of the worst gigs. Good money, shit gig though. So like couldn't skip the gig. But the Bucks show, the wedding ended up getting cancelled, bro. So maybe I didn't really need to be at the Bucks show. But they did a game. They did this game where you ask the Buck questions about his missus. And you let him get a couple right first, couple early ones, just a couple layups. So then they get comfortable. And then you ask ones where they're like, oh, I'm not sure. And no matter what he says, you tell him he's wrong and you make him drink a shot. And the questions are like pretty unsourced. Like he's not really going to be able to get the answer. He's like, fuck, oh shit, I don't know. This, sorry, dude. It's actually, yeah. So the first question was like, hey, what's, so-and-so's favorite movie? And he's like, oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, shit. And he can't do it. Well, just think of a genre. Go, just name a rom-com. He's like, oh, God, I don't know. Anyway, I was like, just name a movie. And we didn't even do the research, bro, and find out what her favorite movie was. We were happy for him to get it wrong, But he wouldn't even know. And then he started saying, bro. He started saying, oh, God, like, about to get married. I don't even know her favorite movie. He said it in a joking way, but like, did he though? Did he say it in a joking way? Because it didn't have. Anyway, this is getting a bit too personal, so I won't go any longer on that. But that's what I would be like because I'm a retard. I'm that undiagnosed, but cool. I wouldn't be able to get anything right. What's the popular Pixar film? Is it Ice Age or Ice Cage? I'll be like, oh shit, phone a friend. It's just, I just would not do good on it. But I've been to quiz nights. Dude. And quiz nights, I've even worked them. I've been the quiz master. As the quiz master, people get mad at you for the questions. Oh, how about something from this decade? Be smarter. How about be smarter, brother? Or someone, I can't remember, someone teased me one night. And I was just like, I think I called her a dummy or something afterwards because she got the question wrong. I think I mispronounced something. I think I mispronounced something in the question, and she started giving me shit. Got mad familiar with me. It wasn't even a regular. Started getting mad familiar, and then she got the question wrong. And I was like, "Oh, that hurts, dummy," or something like that. Which, you know, probably potentially could have lost my job. It's not a good job though. It's just not a good job to have. So wouldn't have cared. What else though? Oh yeah, quiz nights. People get so competitive and they want ownership. They want ownership of, oh yeah, mate, I'm gonna do sports. I think I've got all the sports covered, don't you? It's like, yeah, dude, you're the best. You're the best at winning $20 fucking meal vouchers. Who cares? Press the button. Have a guess. Oh, bad dates. Bad dates, dude. There's so many movies and TV shows that sort of make me do bad date stories, but I've got one that I'll share with you. Just because I don't think she was a murderer, but like I could picture it. And I've told you about this before, and you kind of have to be a YouTube subscriber to know this one, but she would always, when she talked to you, she would go like this. Like tilt her head sideways and her eyes would be like mad wide open. Like back in the day, she was super cute. I've run into her recently. She like it appears, and this is just visually, just from a look, it appears that she might be a junkie now, and that, you know, that's sad, bro. I'm not trying to poke fun at that. It just that's what happens over the years. People change, people look different, and that's what she looks like. Not accusing her of doing anything. I haven't named her, so that's okay. But me and my friend Big Bowley, we were at a basketball game, 36ers, Adelaide 36ers, before they did me wrong. So I would still go to their games, and she was there, and she came out. She saw me. She had a thing for black guys, so she saw me. She comes over to me. Yeah, I'm black, by the way. Some people don't even know that. Some people can't even tell that. Those people are fucking clowns. But she comes over and she sits down and she's talking and she's doing all the head tilting shit. And Big Bowley, after she leaves, he's just like, bro, he's like, she's hot, eh? I was like, yeah, dude. He's like, you're not gonna fuck her though. Or no, I don't think we were doing like heaps of fucking back then. I think he said, you're not going to hook up with her though, are you? I was like, why is that? And he's like, because she's a fucking murderer, bro. No one does. He's like, no one does that, right? That's just from horror films, yes? It's like, yeah. Yeah, that shit was wild, bro. And so, yeah, we never did anything. I think we might have made out back in the day. And then I went through a breakup later in life. And we finally did it then when I was like 25, 26, something like that. And that was, yeah, regrettable, creepy, very creepy vibe. Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to make it out of that house. Sometimes when you're in a dark time though, you'll go and do something stupid. You know, some people skydive, some people have sex with scary people. And that's what I did. But yeah, I ran into her at the shops, man. Like, I don't know how long ago now. Maybe a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. I don't know. But she looked horrific, bro. It was scary. And it was just like, she looked like somebody that not only, like, back in the day, she looked like she had potential to kill somebody. And now she looks like she has killed somebody and is weighing on her conscience, bro. So I went on a date with her though once when we were younger, back when she looked good. And we went to this place. I forget the name of it. Dessert place. Can't remember it. But it was very popular, like, date location in Adelaide. And I went there with her and we were sitting there having dessert or late night coffee or like a hot chocolate or some bullshit, dude. Doesn't even matter. I'm telling a story like a female right now, like just details that don't matter. But I think it was 8:26 or maybe it was 27 or 28. I'm not sure. You know, that type of shit. Oh, I think I was wearing heels, or maybe I was wearing flats. Maybe I was barefoot. Was I barefoot? What socks did I have on? Don't remember. What was I saying? Like, bitch, if you don't get to the fucking meat of the story, I'm gonna kill myself. Anyway, we're sitting there having something, chatting, and I look over her shoulder and I see this dude. I'm like, this dude's sort of been sitting at this table for two for mad long. She turns around, she's like, oh no, do you think he's been stood up? I'm like, yeah, I think he's been stood up, which sucks. I've never stood anybody up in my life. Have I been stood up? I feel like that's something I'd remember. I could have been. Seems like something that had happened to me, but I can't remember that it has happened to me. But anyway, this dude's sitting there. He's kind of like a nerdy, kind of dorky dude. It could have even been a prank. You know, people used to be mean like that. I don't think they're really like that anymore. But, you know, set up a date with this fucking loser, you know, and I just won't even go. Oh, how funny is that? And we'll all sit in bed in our 90s and our touching each other's tits and pussies, and we'll laugh so much about this little fucking nerd not getting a date. Joke's on you, bitch, whoever did that, because 3 of the hottest girls I'd seen in my life at the time come and sit with him, and now he's on a date with 3 bad bitches. Now, that probably didn't convert into pussy or anything for him, but what an experience. I would rather tell the story of being stood up and then going on a date with 3 bad bitches incidentally than, oh, my name's Clay and I went to the fucking dessert spot with a complete psychopath. That is a better story, dude. So good on him. But nah, standing people up's fucking hectic, bro. I guess it just turned into later in life as technology developed, it turned into more ghosting. You know, you just stop responding to people's texts and shit, which has that's happened to me. Yeah, that's happened to me, bro. But and justice not being served, man. Or an example of justice not being served in my life. Nothing to the level of, you know, a rape and murder. You know, that's a double crime right there. That's something pretty legit. Justice, bro. I think the amount of money that you spend sports betting and never hit that fucking multi, I think that's unjust, if I'm being completely honest. Getting blacklisted from betting sites for winning too much at times. Ladbrokes, I'm talking to you. Not even allowed to bet on their platform because I rinsed them, and it's like not even for that much. Few grand, and now you're not going to let me bet on sports anymore. You dogs. Scared. Fucking scared. And if you did let me bet, you would have had all that back, bro. Sports bet's making a fucking killing off me. Oh, God. Oh, the NBA playoffs. Let's have a look if Rudy Gobert had 6 rebounds. I bet he didn't. Bro. Let's have a look. Box score. Gobert, 3 rebounds. 7'12", 3 rebounds. Dumb cunt. How about Chet Holmgren? 7 rebounds. That's not enough. That's not enough still, but it's more than 3, isn't it? God damn it. Absolute pricks. Absolute pricks, brother. Anyway, I think that's it. 6 out of 10 for Woman of the Hour. It's on Netflix, and would I recommend it? At the end of the day, the 6 sort of, you know, they had the set design, the costume design, sound design. Cool. It was all cool. The color, like they tried to make it look like it was shot back then too. The color, it was just a bit on the nose, kind of. And yeah, honestly, I think this could have been just executed far better. If there's a documentary about it, and I'm sure there is, that's probably way better than this shit. I wouldn't recommend it, man. If there's a documentary about it, watch that. It'll be way spookier. But you'll get more information and they won't be like, and guess what else? While Rodney Alcala was raping and murdering 130 women, there was a girl who got objectified in an audition. Fucking hell, dude. Who gives a fuck? You know what it is. Welcome to the Poddy on everything. Clay McMath Comedy on everything. Follow, rate, review, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the Welcome to the Poddy podcast. I love you guys. Don't forget to love yourselves. And as always, bung bung.